Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
And welcome everybody to Wars in the Stars, episode number 94. Today we got a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 preview. We will also discuss a little bit about Jedi Survivor. It came out a couple of days ago, right? Thursday night?
Yesterday.
Thursday? Or yesterday? Or
Well,
was it
yesterday midnight of yesterday? So I
okay?
guess Thursday midnight, Friday, whatever. Friday.
Thursday for you West Coast people. So
Yeah.
there you go. And then we'll touch a little bit on Temura Morrison's interesting comments on Disney, Lucasfilm, Star Wars. It definitely caused some stir on Twitter.
Yeah.
Star Wars Twitter is
That's new.
it's just like yeah. I made a TikTok about that. You saw that. I said it was like good. Like, it was good in 2017 when there was, like, 5 people who made videos. I mean, now you got to listen to people like us talk.
The educated kind.
And
the scholars.
The exquisite Star Wars people. But everyone's got a voice now, and that's good, but it's also a bad thing. But we don't want to get too far down that rabbit hole. Yeah, let's discuss something positive, or maybe not positive, because it might be sad. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Alex has crafted up he cooked in the kitchen some questions.
Yes, I did. I'm the best chef there is, best chef there was.
So let's get right into it, Alex. What do we got for our first question here?
Okay, we're going to start off our two standard questions. I'm sure almost every single... I'm actually almost positive almost every single preview we've done has started with these two questions. What excites you about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
I'm excited to finally have a director in the chair who's just so consistent with superhero films. I feel like the last few movies, who the hell directs the Ant-Man films? He's slipping my mind now. I like him, right? Obviously directed the best episode of The Mandalorian, but that's crazy. Somehow, but I like Peyton Reed's work, but he's not 100% on this stuff. Taika was 100% until Love and Thunder, and we got Love and Thunder. But I'm excited for Gunn. Gunn really doesn't miss with superhero films. These are his characters. These are his babies. We're coming up on 10 years now that the Guardians have been in the MCU.
Oh, crazy! Were they 24? Were they end of 2014?
I think they were April. Were they April?
Something like that.
I think they were April of 2014. To take these niche characters and make them some of the best known comic book characters.
August 1st, 2014.
August. It was August.
Wow.
Okay. So Winter Soldier might have been April then.
Yeah, might have been.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited I'm just excited to see what Gunn can do with the film. I think the best thing about that is the team dynamic, obviously, that they have. So I'm excited to see that. But overall, I'm excited to just see a well-crafted superhero film from Gunn. How about you,
Yes.
Alex? What are you excited to see?
Honestly, everything, dude. I don't think there is a thing about this movie that I'm like at all worried about. Oh, my whole step's moving. I know this film is in amazing hands. Okay, sorry if my audio is going to sound a little shoddy for a second, but
okay.
But yeah, I know this film is in like amazing hands, and so I have like all the faith in the world of James Gunn again. Like, man is like what? Guardians 2, The Suicide Squad. This man is like 3 for 3 with like top tier superhero movies.
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. Yep. 4 for 4. And so for me personally, I'm excited for it. I'm just excited for everything. Like, I know that's very like, oh, that's very broad, very vague. But honestly, like I thought Guardians 1 is like probably the best MCU movie. I thought Guardians 2 was a step down, but was still good. And then, The Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, super renowned for the DC universe, which, I mean, I guess the bar isn't very high for that universe. But I guess it set it very high because, like, nothing's probably going to hit as well received as those have been. So
And
I'm
also earned him the job as the head
yeah,
creative over there.
yeah, co-head of DC. And so I'm just over the moon excited to see, like, what does James Gunn have cooking? This is his last Marvel movie probably ever.
You don't think he does another one?
No, he's the head of the rival.
You still don't think he does another one?
Mm-mm.
Probably contractually he can't.
Yeah, probably Warner Discovery probably was like, yeah, you're not going back to them now.
Right. Which sucks, but
Oh yeah,
and Marvel's definitely struggling to find directors that have worked for them. But yeah, I agree. I agree with that overall. I'm excited for the suits too. I like
oh yeah.
the
Love
comic
their Nova
accurate
suit.
suits. Yeah, they look really really good. Um, I'm just excited. I love his aesthetics. I love his cinematography, and I love how he just crafted the. He's really the first guy to craft the cosmic side of the MCU. So I'm excited to see how he continues to do that. But yeah, Alex, what's your second question?
Follow it up. What worries you? What
What
worries
they
you?
what they do with Gamora?
That
Gamora,
was my point.
Gamora is such we got osmosis, man. We got
Yeah,
osmosis.
she is such an oddball character for this movie. Such a weird thing to do because in the Avengers Endgame script, she didn't survive when Tony snapped.
Right?
But now she is. I think honestly, I think my big thing is I think I'm gonna have more. I think they're gonna give honestly more questions and answers to how Gamora is still here, because with this line of thinking, technically, she should be creating like oh God, I'm getting rusty on my Marvel knowledge here. A branch timeline right now, because
Great. Yeah, that's correct.
she's from another universe. You can't be doing that. Or no, she's creating an incursion. Sorry, incursion. Sorry. So I think that's something that should be answered. I just want to know how they're going to handle it. I wouldn't really like if they just go back to, oh, she remembers everything, or if her and Peter just kind of be like, oh, yep, we're together. It's just not the same.
Right. It's just weird to me because for two movies, we built up their relationship, like their
Mm-hmm.
reluctant relationship, right? It's kind of like Han
Yeah.
and Leia almost, right?
Mm.
I feel like that's a good analogy for it. They love each other, but it's like reluctantly. And then we've gone with this whole thing with Peter, even in Love and Thunder, where it's like, yeah, he's getting over it.
Yeah.
So like what you only have one movie now. What you kind of can't like I feel like if you rehash the relationship and try to make them love each other again, it's just boring. It just feels like the first and second movie. We know, well, I don't know if people she's gonna be a Ravager.
Yeah.
She's gonna be working with the Ravagers. So she's gonna be working with Yondu and stuff.
Well, no, she's
Um
not. Yondu's dead.
Well, Yondu is dead. Yondu's Ravagers of. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
God damn it. God damn it, Drew. God damn it. I just sound like I totally
Wow.
forgot that he died.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Bro's
He's
insulting the dead.
wow. I am so sorry. He's gonna be working with Sean Gunn's character,
Yeah.
who I don't know his name.
Craggle?
Kragel? Jesus, man. Oh my god.
I don't
And
know.
he's got the arrow thing.
Yeah, Kraglin, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited to see what they do with her, but I am worried about how they handle her because she essentially is like the main center, one of the main centerpieces besides Peter. I would say like number two, right? She
Mm-hmm.
was
Oh
the
yeah,
number
right
two.
behind her. Or right behind him, sorry, yeah. Yeah,
Um,
it's just kind of to me, it's just I don't know. It kind of feels very touchy-feely when it in terms of, oh, she's dead, but now she's alive again. It's kind of, that problem that I think everybody for the last few years have been saying, like, you're never truly dead anymore in franchise films anymore. Star Wars and Marvel are the big proponents of that, of, oh, you were dead, but now you're not because of the multiverse or because of cloning or whatever it is.
Spider Legs, my
Yeah.
favorite.
And so that to me, I don't know. I hope they give this Gamora a very different personality to the original.
Well,
Very
honestly,
different.
honestly, have her be the same Gamora she was in 2014.
Yeah.
She hasn't gone through the same events. The prison in Guardians 1, she hasn't gone through those events. It's gonna be a lot more difficult for Peter to be able to, fall in love and, well, he's already in love, but it's gonna be a lot more difficult for him to kindle that relationship with Gamora. It's not the same person. And I think that's gonna be his journey throughout the film, is realizing that, oh, they're not the same person. They just look the same, but they're not the same person. And this film will be about him overcoming that and realizing that the Gamora he knew is dead. This is a different Gamora. I hope some of those questions are addressed. I doubt it about the timeline thing or about the incursion thing, because she is like she's not supposed to be there at all. She is like literally like destroying the fabric of
the universe,
her universe, because there was no Thanos.
Yeah, there's nobody. That'd be a wicked timeline to live in, by the way. What would the
nothing
MCU
happens
like if just
literally nothing?
No one, no Black Order.
No, there's nothing. There's no events of Infinity War. Well, yeah, there's no. They just beat Ultron and it's over. The Avengers never, like, Tony never dies. Wow, that's a good universe. Wow.
It sounds a lot better than the one we're watching.
Yeah, that's wow. That's peaceful. Yeah, but Gamora's interesting. But I also don't want a big focus on her too, right? Because I want to focus on the team and stuff.
Yeah.
That's another worry now that I'm going to say. There's a lot of focus on here. Wow. I mean, they got to focus on the team. They got to focus on kind of building a new team at the end, if this is it. I mean, this is obviously it for this crew. The High Evolutionary as a villain, which is another thing that really excites me. He just seems like an absolute menace. Yeah. I'm really interested in the evil scientist. I've always kind of liked that archetype of a character. And the gentleman who plays him seems like a fantastic actor. So, I'm excited to see what his ideas with the animal human hybrid thing, why he's doing it.
Yeah.
How's it working? And yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, I think that's really cool and really interesting. But yeah, Gamora, my big worry for this film. Alex, what do you think besides Gamora? Or is Gamora the big one for you?
Gamora is the big one, but I do think, like you were saying, there is that feel of lack of focus. There is a lot to deal with. You have the High Evolutionary, Adam Warlock, the Ravagers, Gamora, the Guardians. You have Rocket and his backstory. We know Rocket's going to take center stage for this movie. And I remember I was watching the red carpet for this movie, and James Gunn was talking about how he broke up the three movies, how Guardians 1 was about the relationship with the mother, Guardians 2 was about the relationship with the father, and Guardians 3 is about the relationship with the self. And so, I don't know. I'm just, I'm worried that the movie's going to either focus too much on something and not enough on something, or kind of everything's not going to get enough.
I agree.
I think the movie's 2.5 hours?
Oh, I think it's less than that, right? Why do I think it's a shorter runtime than that?
2 hours and 29.
Okay, so I guess longer than I thought, actually.
Yeah, it's a little longer than the most MCU movies. So there's a little bit more time to focus on things. Yeah, I think I'm also worried. This is just purely the comic book nerd in me inside. I'm very worried about how he handles Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock is a huge character in the comics. He literally is the holder of the Soul Stone. So, with no Soul Stone, what's he doing here?
Right. Also, what are the people that created him?
Oh God, the Sovereign.
Sovereign, right? They gotta explain that, because that's why Adam Warlock is in this film. Yeah.
Yep.
We're gonna see him hatch out of that cocoon finally.
Very exciting.
Yeah, very exciting
too.
All right, question 3.
Oh, so what characters, using only the stuff we know from stories, from trailers and interviews, who excites you the most? Who's got that? Who's scratching that interest nerve inside of you? Like,
I'm a big fan of good villains.
Oh,
The
yeah.
High Evolutionary
Mhm.
really intrigues me. There's not been a lot of them. That's the thing. It's not been a lot of them in trailers, right?
Very sparsely used in the trailers, so
And it's
kind
a
of worries me
thing,
we might not get enough screen time.
right? But it's also a thing. If we're gonna be honest, the weakest part I think of Gunn's comic book stories are his villains.
Yeah, they're either like they either don't get enough screen time or they're very one dimensional. Like I think of like Ronan, very one dimensional. There's no motivation for him to do anything except that he's a bad guy who wants to do bad things.
Right.
And then Ego, he was really good, very in depth, but we didn't get enough of him. I feel
Hmm.
till anytime that we really started to get to him, they'd cut away from him.
Right.
Now I haven't watched the Suicide Squad or Peacemaker, so I can't really, hit on his villain problems there. I know that is kind of another big critique though, that people have is that the villains feel a little lackluster. So
The goddamn giant ass starfish. Yeah.
yeah, and so uh, that is something I'm a little nervous about. High Evolutionary is a very big character, so hoping for some justice. But I think him and Adam Warlock, they really got me going. What you got there cooking, son? Let me see. Let me test that hamburger out. See what you got going, because I want to know. I'm just very curious about those two. Like, of course, I'm curious about Rocket. We know Rocket's gonna get his big moment in the spotlight in this movie, and so of course I'm curious about him. I'm curious also about Swole Groot. Why not?
Are we sure that Rocket's moment in the spotlight is not him in a casket?
Could be, man. No
We'll discuss
spoilers.
that, I'm
Hey,
sure, later.
no spoilers for later question. No spoilers.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know.
I'm
So
excited for Adam Warlock too, because Warlock is what's going to change the tide of the battle in this movie between the villains of Counter Earth and the High
mhm,
Evolutionary and the Guardians. Because I feel like how this movie is going to be structured is like the first half of the film, Warlock is chasing after them,
yeah,
um, and then ultimately they befriend him. I mean, this is a thing that happens in the comics, if I'm not correct. Something
yes.
similar to this.
This happens in the comics. This happens in the Guardians of the Galaxy game. This is very common for Adam to start off as the foe and then become a member of the Guardians.
And if I correct me if I get this, but he almost has the mind of a child, almost, right? I mean, he's more intelligent than that, but he's he's I don't know how to explain it. He's very intelligent, but he's not
He's very
emotionally.
yeah, he's very very smart. He's very very socially inept. Like he doesn't get social cues like we would.
So he's like the Vision, basically, kind of
Yeah,
like.
but he's like Vision. He's like Vision like when we first meet Vision.
Okay, right,
Like
just
very like impersonable, like has no personality to him. Um but he's very animated in a sense.
right.
Like I don't know, it's hard to explain. I think the Guardians game kind of got him really good. Um but oh god, now I want to replay the Guardians of the Galaxy game right now.
Do you worry about him not getting justice? He's such a big character. Do you
He's
worry about that?
he is such a big character, and I do kind of worry that they're either going to do too little with him, or what they do with him isn't going to feel right.
Also, a very powerful character, as you mentioned earlier, right?
He's a very important and powerful character in the Marvel comics. He kind of has a rivalry with Thanos,
Right.
and so yeah, that's kind of my big thing is wanting to make sure my boy's done right.
Right. Yeah, I
He's
agree with that.
like for me for Marvel comic character, he's up there for one of my favorites. So
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
I just think his backstory, his design, and all that is really cool. So
Yeah. He's just like a really just visually appealing character, like visually like a very cool character, like conceptually too, like
yeah,
the holder of the soul stone, kind of like Vision, right? With the Mind Stone almost.
yeah,
But I'm excited for those two obviously because they're gonna be, well, I wouldn't necessarily call Adam more like the villain of this film, but he will be begin. So I guess like an anti-hero or kind of the betrayer in this film who ultimately will betray the Sovereign and will work with the Guardians to help take down the High Evolutionary. But I am curious for his character developing character arc because I think eventually he will be the leader of the new Guardians team with Peter, I think, or I hope at least. Yeah, and I also think Rocket as well. It's time for Rocket to get the spotlight. I feel like we spotlighted Drax for the first two films with Thanos and that whole thing, and Infinity War. Obviously, Peter Quill's gotten his story. Nebula, obviously, with Thanos. Mantis in the second film, and in the holiday special, with us finding out that like she's related to Peter, which makes sense. And then also, well, it shouldn't make sense, but it obviously does, knowing Ego. And then Rocket really hasn't gotten that backstory, and he's always had the most interesting. It's a talking raccoon. Yeah. He obviously has the most interesting backstory there. And there's just something compelling about, like I was saying earlier, with the High Evolutionary and his attempts with science to create a perfect human hybrid. And also what moral dilemma does that offer Peter as a human, right? I mean, I'm sure he's going to help Rocket, but what what moral dilemma does that offer for him? Yeah, I mean, we can go to question 4 now.
Yeah. Okay, so this was kind of a big one. You kind of hit on it a little bit in your answer. And this will kind of tie in very nicely with the next question.
Okay.
And kind of question 7.
Okay.
But so we're told that this is it for this set of Guardians. But do you think we will never see them again past this movie? This is it.
I definitely think we will see a new cosmic team. Now, I don't think it will be called the Guardians, but they will be a new cosmic team.
Yeah.
Consisted of, is that your second question?
Oh, no. That's it. It's just, do you think we will actually never see the Guardians again?
No, I think we will see members of the Guardians on that cosmic team for sure. And with the Ravagers, one of them being Gamora. But yeah, I would say most definitely. Soon? By soon for Marvel, I mean like 3 to 5 years? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Well, it looks like that's how long Phase 5 is going to be. So, delaying everything, canceling everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a while until to see him.
Yeah, I mean, I think by the end of the movie, not to jump the gun, I think they're still going to be called the Guardians of the Galaxy. I just think the crew's going to be very different. And again, I'll save that for later. But yeah, I think we will see them again. I think we will. I think it only makes sense. It doesn't feel right to just kind of end their story here. Because I don't think all of them are going to die. But which, speaking of dying, Drew, question 5: Who do you think bites the bullet in this, or bites the dust, dies?
I feel like Drax has to, right? There was no arc for him left.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, honestly, I'm getting to give a percentage for each character. So Peter Quill, 0. No shot.
No, Chris Pratt's too big of a name. Like just from that standpoint, I don't think you can kill him. I also think he's an interesting. I've liked him. I mean, he's the reason they lost to Thanos. But overall, I've liked him as a character. His development's been really interesting, and he's the main character.
And I think there's still so much story to tell with him.
I agree.
Gamora, 0%.
0. She already
died. So, yeah. Mantis, 10%, maybe.
They haven't really done with a lot with her, and she's not like a type of character. She's a comedic relief character, and she's not.
She's one of those characters like you just can't do much with. Like, there's no point. There's no point. She's just kind of there to make us laugh.
Right.
Adam Warlock, 0. I think honestly he's one of the future members of the major superhero lineup. So
Absolutely. I mean, you don't get it. I mean, Adam Poulter is going to be very fantastic, I think, in that role, and uh, you definitely don't bring Adam Warlock in for just one film. It's the type of
yeah,
character you have for a little bit.
forever, honestly. That's what I would
Right.
do. High evolutionary. I think almost guaranteed he dies.
Pretty likely. Not a type of villain I see lasting beyond this. Not a two film or
Yeah.
a type of villain I see coming back.
Groot. Honestly, I give Groot probably like a 40 or no, a 30% chance.
That's pretty high. I'm gonna say like 15. I don't
Mm.
see them killing Groot. They did that in the first film,
Yeah,
and
but
he just
it's kind of like if you have Rocket, you got Groot, and I think when we hit on Rocket, like
oh no 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 please not Groot again, not the baby. He just got to become a teenager.
he's swole, bro. He's swole Groot. He's
He's
hitting the gym.
act. I don't know how does he hit the gym? Does he just like
I don't know, bro. He's hitting them plant steroids or something. I gotta get what
yeah.
he's got.
Yeah, I don't think he dies though. I think that would be I mean it would be a nice like full circle thing, but like I don't think that's gonna happen.
But Nebula, 10%.
10%. I feel like she's just gonna go with the Ravagers. I feel like she's just gonna go with
That
Gamora.
and I honestly feel like there is a lot more story for Nebula than what we're getting.
Right. I mean, she was a reluctant daughter of Thanos, obviously,
Yeah.
and there wasn't really a story with that, right? Because it was mostly focused on Gamora and
Mm.
Thanos' relationship.
Yeah.
And they obviously touch on Nebula and Thanos' relationship, but I felt more of a connection with Gamora and Thanos, especially in Infinity War, right?
Hmm.
Um, but with Nebula, there is so much more story left. Since then, there has been really no character with her, I would say.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what they do with that story and also her relationship with 2014 Gamora. But I think
Mm.
it's much more likely that she would be able to form an attachment with
Yeah.
Gamora because
Get
again,
get a second chance with her.
right, Gamora's still been through the trauma of her father. The
Mm.
Nebula still has that PTSD. You know, uh, Thanos basically forced them to be two cunning warriors, and he was obviously like abusive verbally and stuff. So like they share that trauma, and Nebula is definitely more hard nosed. She's definitely more down to earth. Like definitely still has the warrior in her. Uh,
She got
and
that
that's
dog in her.
she's got that dog in her for sure. But she's more of still like a physical brute. She's the warrior still, and she uses her trauma and like her basically being like a cyborg. I mean, she is cyborg, but like um, she uses that pain that she has in the way she fights. I feel like she'll be able to connect with Gamora much more easily than Peter Quill will. But yeah, I don't think she dies. So that was just my prediction for like what I think her story is gonna be in this film, or what I hope to see.
Yeah. Um, Rocket. Gotta give him like an 80%, man. I think there's a
Let's
good.
say a 75. Please don't kill him. No, not the raccoon,
The
man.
problem is, okay, apart from Rocket's backstory, what else does he have left to do?
He's got Bucky's arm.
Well, that's not enough, though. That's not enough, though.
Yeah, I think he's cooked.
It is too. I think it's more likely than not that Rocket bites the dust.
Yeah, it's too bad, but I trust James Gunn to have a beautiful story for him. So I mean, we shall see. But
Yeah,
a little bit worried. But I think that the death will be well executed. But I think it's almost a finality that he is going to die.
and I think if not Rocket, Drax, same percentage, like 80%.
Or I think Drax is higher. I mean, what is Drax's story?
The thing is, though, is like he had that storyline with Thanos, but then it went nowhere.
Right.
And so I'm kind of with that. I think either one of them dies or both of them dies.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I just think he's not interested anymore.
Yeah, he's just funny, and that's it. And funny only gets you so far nowadays.
Right, right. Yeah, right. He's just big funny brute character, and I'm like, that's not
Mm,
funny. That's funny for a little bit, and then it's not funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it for major people, unless I'm missing anybody. So
no, we got the whole team.
Yeah. Okay, my next question. So, how big will Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 be to the overall picture of Phase 5 and the multiverse saga as a whole?
Not very big.
I think semi-big because you're bringing Adam Warlock in.
That's fair for sure. I think that could be big, especially for like the cosmic people that come in and help out against Kane. And Adam Warlock is somebody who could probably go up against Kane and whoever Kane has as people working for him. Or if it is Kane, who knows at this point. But yeah, I think it won't. I think from that standpoint, it will be big introducing Adam Warlock. What would be interesting is that if incursion happens with the whole thing with Gamora being from a different universe, I think that would be really interesting. We've been alluded to incursions in Multiverse of Madness. We know they are happening around the multiverse. What if it happened with our universe doesn't get destroyed, but Gamora's universe gets destroyed, and we see that actually happen, right? Right? Or is it a thing? I don't remember. They said that either one universe gets destroyed or both, right? Yeah. So let's say Gamora's universe gets destroyed. Because I think we agree on this, or maybe not, but I think like our Earth, like our universe, is gonna be one of the last ones. I think these incursions are gonna happen at such a fast rate.
Yeah.
That our Earth is gonna be like one of the last ones, and there's gonna be other ones, like the other Earths that are gonna be around are like Toby's Earth and like Garfield's Earth and like the X-Men Earth, the Fantastic Four Earth, and I think and those will all come together to fight the Kane that's left, right?
And I still think I think I said this last time we were live last week. I still think that the MCU should go to a point where it's the big showdown with Kang and it ends with a new universe being made and it can truly be called Earth 616. Because I feel like that to me would be it. And I feel like as a part of it, as a part of that new Earth's Guardians of the Galaxy, you have Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, Adam Warlock, Drax, and Gamora. Unless I said Gamora twice already. I'm sorry if I did. But
we could just have two Gamoras.
Two Gamora, yeah. Not unheard of anymore. That would be what I would do for the ideal Guardians lineup. Because again, Mantis, we just don't need her anymore. Nebula, I feel like you could either just not need her anymore or you send her off on her own. We don't need Kraglin. We don't need Cosmo.
Oh, come on now.
Sorry, I love the Space Doggy, but we don't need her that much. But that's what I think. I think I think the overall story will not be large. I think it will bring a large piece with it, though. I think bringing Adam Warlock in is, again, he's just one of those characters you just don't bring in for one movie and then you're just like, oh, bye, Adam.
Right.
No, he's here to stay. And I think he should be a major part. Honestly, give me a cameo of him in the Marvels.
That's fair, right? He's going to be out in the cosmic realm, in the cosmic side of the universe. Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Give me an Adam Warlock cameo.
Right.
So, yeah, again, just to reiterate, I don't think the movie's plot will be massive for the implications of the MCU. I think a part of it will be massive. So,
okay.
Yeah. So, question 7 here. 2 more after. We know that Come and Get Your Love will be the last song played in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So how do you think and how do you want the film to end? So let's go with how do you want the film to end first?
I want the film to end with just like a shot of the new team.
Okay.
Whoever that is going to be. Come and Get Your Love. That's interesting.
It's the song that opened up Guardians 1. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like it's got to be a thing where, or maybe it could just be a thing where we just come full circle, and at this point, Peter's back on his own. They kind of just split apart, right? Because when Guardians 1 opens up, he's by himself.
Yeah.
Maybe we go full circle and be like, hey, he went on this first journey, and then now he's back alone, and now he's got to go on the second journey with a new team. Because I still think even with a new team, he's still the vocal point, whether it's him or Warlock. So maybe we go that route. That it's just like an end point where he's just back on his own, being a bounty hunter, essentially just doing jobs. Maybe that, or it could be like a thing where it's like they play that song again, but it's the whole team together for the final time, or something like that. I don't know.
Or maybe it's gonna be "Come and Get Your Love" as a bunch of like flashbacks of the crew. I think that'd be nice.
I could see that. I could see that.
I could also see it being like "Come and Get Your Love" being the playover song when the new team forms and they're in the first big battle together. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, such a full circle moment, coming back, starting or ending on the song that we all began with.
Right. Great song too. Iconic. Really, and I actually like a very iconic scene. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like the echo of it in Endgame when they have to go get the Power Stone from him on Morag. I think it's so I think it's gonna be such a sad thing hearing it, because it's gonna be a song that is going to it's gonna give you them feels. But what if it's just the credits?
It's probably it. That's probably it. It's probably it. That's probably it. It's probably it. It's definitely it. That's definitely it.
I either want it to be that sad. Honestly, no. I think it'll probably be like a bunch of flashes of like the flashbacks of the Guardians and the credits at the same time.
Oh, that would be good. That would be good. Yeah.
If I get fucking screwed over and it's just the credits music,
What if it's just like at the very end of the film and it's only like a 10-second part of it? He'd technically be right.
Yeah. Yes.
What if it just randomly plays like after the credits before the post credit scene? Yeah. And he's gonna be like, yeah, this is technically the last song. But that would be something James Gunn would do. But I think it's actually gonna be like at the end of the film.
But yeah, they released the soundtrack a little while back.
Really?
Yeah. So the soundtrack in order, I'll go ahead and read it, is Creep. It's the acoustic version performed by Radiohead. Crazy on You performed by Heart. Since You've Been Gone by Rainbow. In the Meantime by Space Hog. Reasons by Earth, Wind and Fire. Do You Realize by The Flaming Lips. We Care a Lot by Faith No More. Kunai no Carnival from Minute Waltz performed by E. Hammock. I'm Always Chasing Rainbows by Alice Cooper. Oh, Alice Cooper. Ooh, we know we're in good hands. San Francisco by the Mowgli's. I don't know how to say that. Poor Girl performed by X. This Is the Day performed by The.
That's when Rocket's gonna die. This is the day.
Yeah. No Sleep Till Brooklyn by Beastie Boys.
Great song.
Dog Days Are Over by Florence Plus the Machine. Badlands by Bruce Springsteen. I Will Dare by The Replacements. And Come and Get Your Love by Redbone.
Good.
Pretty stacked soundtrack, not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that's what it needs to be. If it's just the credit song, I will walk out of that theater upset. 0 out of 10. 0. This was kind of what I was talking about earlier, but any cameos you're thrilling to see? I think I'd like to see a little Brie Larson in here. Monica?
Okay.
Kamala?
I mean, this is kind of... Actually, I want to save this. Yeah. My answer is yes, but I'll explain more when we get to our what do you want to see, or like bold prediction.
That's the next question, so we can just segue into that.
The new Guardians team is going to be the Annihilators.
Ooh.
It's just different with Adam Warlock, Peter Quill. For now, um, Cosmo. Who else would be on this team that we can do? I'm gonna say it right now, and it might not be right. I think they might do Silver Surfer as like a good guy. Kazar.
Okay.
I think can throw in Gladiator. But I think it's gonna be a mix of the Annihilators and the Guardians.
Interesting. Again, I think for cameos, I'd like to see some Captain Marvel.
Okay.
She's the big cosmic girl. So let her meet the big cosmic boy. In terms of bold predictions, again, I think Rax. Rax. I was gonna say Rax and Rocket.
He combined Rocket and Drax. That was awesome.
Twice. Oh God, I'm sorry. Drax and Rocket will both die, and I think Swole Groot will die. Yeah.
Half the team is just dead.
Pulling some real Infinity War stuff on us again.
Holy crap! I'm not gonna be okay. My theater is gonna be flooded. Holy, with tears. Oh my God.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Alex wants it. God, are you Dave Filoni? Who are you, man?
I'm sorry. But also, hold on. I need some tinfoil hat theory right here.
Woo woo.
I think also, it's like pulling my eye. Maybe I don't know why I'm getting some tinfoil hat feelings. Let me connect it. Feel the waves in my brain. Maybe just maybe we get another step forward in the multiverse saga by seeing another Kang variant, or maybe we get who knows at this point. What if we who knows, maybe what if High Evolutionary and Kang had a little bit of a working partnership with each other? What if
the High Evolutionary is a variant of Kane?
Oh my goodness, there we go.
That. Don't do that.
High Evolutionary and Kang are connected. The theory, it's there. Why is it there? I don't know.
Okay, can we the tinfoil hat's gonna make you go crazy. You can only wear it in limited. Oh God, you can only wear it in limited quantities. Do not. We highly recommend against. We got an Imperial Royal Guard.
Yeah, hold on. There we go. So yeah, I think what should be going on now. Are you laughing at my tinfoil hat? Its theories are.
Nope.
I can feel the brainwaves. They're coursing through my vein right now. I think we could have another nod to Kang, or we get an outright mention of him. Now the tinfoil hat can go.
By who though?
High Evolutionary.
Okay, that would be interesting. I have another bold prediction. Do we want to talk about post-credit scenes? What we think?
Sure.
I think it will introduce the Annihilators.
I don't think that's post-credit scene worthy. I think that's something you do in the movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think they're shown at the end, but then I think they're shown again.
Yeah, maybe.
But
I don't think we'll get the Annihilators. I think they'll just be the Guardians.
But then again, well, I'm saying it's a mix, right? It's a mix.
Okay.
It's a mix. Like Peter will be on it.
The Annihilators of the Galaxy.
Warlock will be on it.
Hmm.
Nebula goes with the Ravagers.
Yeah.
I think Mantis does her own thing. Actually, I honestly think the only team member that stays is Peter.
Yeah, I think Peter and Adam are going to be. Peter from the original group is going to be the only remaining person, but that's it.
Oh, and Groot. I'll say Groot.
If Rocket goes, Groot goes.
You think that dude dies?
Yes, and honestly, what if he gets burned?
Stop.
Fire's his
Stop.
ultimate weakness, bro. He can't drown. He's a tree.
That actually helps him.
Yeah, it'll make him stronger. That's probably his steroids. He's drinking too much water.
Uh-huh.
But I
I
think,
mean, if he catches on fire, just jump in water.
where are you gonna jump in water at though?
Right. Well, if he's in space. Can he
Exactly.
breathe in space? No, there's no way he can breathe in space, right?
I don't know. Uh, that's my bold prediction. Those are my big bold predictions.
What do
Kangman.
you want in the post-credit scene?
Oh, yeah. Let's see on post credit scenes. Post credit scenes. Maybe that's where we get the Kang mentions. That's where we'll get them in the post credits.
I also want to see. I want that incursion theory to be right.
Yes, something, bro. We gotta the thing is, dude, it feels like the Bad Batch writers are writing the the multiverse saga right now, bro. They introduced the villain to us, and then we don't see him for like 9 series and movies, bro. We'll see him in the last 2 episodes for 3 minutes total of screen time.
Right.
Come on, we gotta be moving this multiverse plot forward,
especially when there were like millions of his variants.
Yeah. Apart from Quantumania, what was the last thing that moved the multiverse saga forward?
It's like it feels like one movie a year moves it forward.
Yeah. So guess what, people? I guess to the people who are like, Marvel needs to go back to these one film a year, kind of, we are. The important movies are once a year. Because and they're always at the beginning of the year.
No Way Home, right? 2021.
Yeah, basically the beginning of 2022.
Because Strange was in May, April,
something like that.
Jesus, that movie is a year.
Yeah.
Holy,
coming up on it.
Good movie. I gotta rewatch it. It's a good movie.
Fun movie.
About midway through the year, and Quantumania. I mean, what's the next movie that's
Marvel's maybe?
A little bit.
The thing is again, with everything
Deadpool,
with everything getting delayed and canceled, who fucking
I don't know what
anything comes out.
I don't either.
I feel bad, bro, because they just had, Comic-Con announcing all these things about all these projects coming out, and I can guarantee you, like 9 out of 10 of those projects are either going to get delayed heavily or scrapped.
I mean, they already have. I mean, Agatha Covenant Chaos was supposed to come out.
Well, that's still filming. I think that probably just got done filming not too long ago.
Right, but they're reworking it. They pushed that back to like 24.
Dang.
Echo, is that thing even happening?
It was meant to come out this year.
It's not happening this year. I know Daredevil's filming right now.
Yeah, Daredevil's filming. They're gonna be filming for a long time.
Right.
18 episodes long.
I mean, we're only gonna get 2 Disney Plus shows this year.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with.
I'm happy about. I'm happy that we're getting more Star Wars than Marvel. Which honestly, this is what I'm saying though. Star Wars feels so much better at spacing out its content.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I absolutely love about this year for Star Wars and last year. When Star Wars had its series, last year we had the Book of Boba Fett at the beginning of the year.
Right.
We had Kenobi in the middle, and we had Andor at the end. Everything felt so spaced out that it didn't feel like it overstayed its welcome or that it wasn't here for long enough. Maybe I'd argue Kenobi. To some people, the first
Kenobi felt quick.
Yes. I felt the same way about Mando, too. Mando feels like it's just come and gone.
Right.
But guess what? Then we get Mando ended. What day did the finale for Mando come out? Let me look back. Hold
on.
5.
The 19th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mando's been over for over a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
That shit flew by.
Right.
And then we have to wait until August. Again, I think I'm with a lot of people. Ahsoka's going to drop either the 2nd of August or the 30th.
Right. There's no
I
in
don't
between.
I don't see it doing the 9th, 16th, or 23rd.
Right.
Because why would Disney pick just a random Wednesday? You got to pick the
Right.
first or the last Wednesday. And so Ahsoka is what, 8 episodes did it get confirmed?
Probably 8. Yes.
And then Skeleton Crew, probably 8 also. Which I
Maybe.
honestly should be getting another trailer for Ahsoka soon. Sooner rather than later.
Right. I
We're,
assume
we're in end of April, so there's May, June, July. There's
probably
3 months
mid-July.
left. Probably that mid. If it's coming out August 2nd, we'll probably get a trailer around the first week of July. If it's that last one, we'll probably the last few days of July. Probably
Right.
even the first few days of August.
I agree. And then
But with Marvel, sorry to cut you off. Yeah, Skeleton
You're good.
Crew. Yeah, Skeleton Crew at the end.
Probably beginning of the year, honestly.
Yeah, I probably safe bet they probably do a book of Boba Fett. Hold on, let me check the calendar. Let me check that calendar.
What's that last December?
27th. That's the last Wednesday of the month.
Yeah.
I could see that. But like last year, 2021, 2022 for Marvel, bro, it literally felt like it was every other week there was something to watch.
Right.
And what happened? People got bored. People didn't want to watch anymore. And now here we are again. And now I don't know if you're feeling it too, because I definitely have been feeling it. Just feels like people don't care anymore.
It just feels like now they've done the opposite. It doesn't feel like enough.
Yeah. Because at this rate, again, almost everything has been delayed or canceled. Now it just kind of feels like, wow, this multiverse saga was meant to be over in like 2 years. Or it was meant to be over in 2027 at the latest. I honestly don't.
We're pushing 2025. There's no way that's happening.
I say I honestly don't see. I don't see the multiverse saga ending now. Probably until like 2028.
How are you gonna do it?
It's just. I mean, Bob Iger came in and literally just told like Marvel, like a very, very, very hard smack on the wrist. Their wrist is broken right now. And he will keep breaking that wrist until they get it right. And so, yeah, I
feel like it's a good thing. I feel like it's.
I feel like it's a real big blessing in disguise right now. I feel like right now it kind of sucks. Hindsight 2020, give us 5 years from now, we'll probably say it was probably the best decision Marvel's ever made.
Right. Feige was just doing too much. He wasn't able to work on every project. He needs to work on every project.
Yes.
He needs to be involved in every single project.
Because let me tell you this. Every project where he is not heavily involved, you can notice it.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel it. It's a big feel in the air of that project.
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder specifically was one I was literally just about to say. You could just almost entirely feel that he was there maybe 3 days out of the entire shoot.
Now, the one he was on a lot that I think he was wrong about was Eternals. But
too much of Eternals. Too much.
But it still, I think, felt more like a product that Marvel would put out than Love and Thunder.
It just felt like Eternals, I think, for most people, it felt like generic Marvel, just not where with less noticeable people or known people.
Right.
Which also, that's kind of my big thing that the multiverse saga needs to be doing, because the Infinity Saga did it so well. Was the multiverse saga needs to start answering a lot of big questions.
Mm-hmm.
Too many looming questions are going on right now that we need answers for.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the fact of the whole Jonathan Majors situation, what's going on with Kang? Are we getting Kang or are we not? That can obviously be answered at a later date. More pressing things in terms of the MCU story.
Mm-hmm.
What about the Celestials? Is nobody going to acknowledge, not Tiamat, but the big fucking red celestial that was in the sky that literally almost made an entire eclipse on the planet? We're not acknowledging that? We're not acknowledging what just happened?
Yeah.
So like incursions, what's going on? the problem that I think I'm finding with the multiverse saga, and I'm hoping Guardians is going to be the start of the rehabilitation of this multiverse saga, is it sets up a lot of major key ideas and never goes back to them.
It's a whole lot of not dealing with the multiverse, I'll say that.
It is the most unmultiversal multiverse saga, bro. Again,
we have had one movie where they have gone to an entirely different universe.
That's it. Now we've had other universes come to 616, but that's different. That's not fair. Or no, I guess technically, what if we want to count
technically Loki?
Yeah, Loki.
Quantumania technically goes to the quantum realm.
But that's it.
Technicalities, people.
Hey, they mean the most. Look at the Mandalorian. That's what I'm saying, bro. The Infinity Saga felt like everything felt important. I can guarantee you, 9 out of 10 projects in the Multiverse Saga don't matter. I can't wait for Echo. Like, I'm telling you, watch Echo be the most important thing. Knowing our luck, it's going to be the most important thing to the MCU story so far.
Probably.
Echo, I can already see it. She's going to be a variant of Kang.
Oh, God. I mean, I love Moon Knight. Moon Knight's very underrated, in my opinion.
Yes.
What does that have anything to do with, like, literally anything?
Again, we probably won't see Moon Knight again until Midnight Suns. And Midnight Suns, honestly, probably won't be for like 6 years.
We're going to see him and be like,
Who?
Who? Moon who?
Moon Knight. The guy from Fortnite?
Oh, God. Wait, is that Batman?
White Batman. That sus. But I know that was a big tangent coming from the bold predictions question.
That's fine. No, that was good. Marvel, get your stuff together, man. I'm counting on you.
Get your shit together.
We got a couple of stuff. We got a couple of projects coming out this year.
A couple? We need a lot more than a couple.
Yeah, a couple of things coming out. We need them to be good. I'm confident in Secret Invasion.
No. We don't need them to be good. We need them to be stellar, like amazing S-tier content.
I got a lot of faith in Secret Invasion, and I definitely got a lot of faith in Loki. I think it's going to be a big turning point. I think it is.
It's one of those things. I know a lot of people,
and this movie too.
They look at Bob Iger to use some outside sources here. I know a lot of people compare Bob Iger to bad businessmen like Vince McMahon and all that. But honestly, if Bob Iger is just coming in to fix up the MCU, I don't care what he does. Honestly,
I also don't think Bob Iger is a bad businessman.
I would need to do more research into him, but from what I've heard, he's like honestly every old businessman nowadays. Shady.
Yeah, I mean they all are, but I would say he's more a status quo guy.
Yeah.
He's not like who was the last guy? He was terrible.
Terrible, bro. He was awful.
He was so bad. He had some. Remember anybody said like animation doesn't matter or some shit like that?
Yeah, straight up out of touch. Out of touch. But that's what I'm saying, man. Ever since Bob Iger has come back, like the quality has felt back with specifically Star Wars. I don't know if that's just me. I'm saying this.
It's Chapek, Bob Chapek.
Yeah. I have enjoyed almost everything Star Wars has produced since The Mandalorian's come out, barring The Rise of Skywalker. I've enjoyed The Mandalorian seasons 1 through 3. I enjoyed Book of Boba Fett. I enjoyed the last 3 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett. I thought the first 4 were good. But I really enjoyed episode 5. The one that wasn't about him. Okay. I thought, look, I'm sorry, but people still to this day are over talking Kenobi and how bad it was. It was not a bad series. It just wasn't great. It was this close. And then the series ended. Should have been a movie.
Right.
What was the other Star Wars thing that came out?
Probably the best one.
Andor. That's what it was. Don't know why Oh, you were talking about the Bad Batch.
No, no, stop.
Hey, for all the things, Bad Batch season 2 is good. That's
It,
all I'm
it
saying.
it might be better than the Mandalorian season 3.
No, okay, no,
No, no, no, Alex.
no,
The back half of back half of Bad Batch season 2 might be better than Mandalorian season 3.
no, no.
No, I am
Anyway,
being
next question.
honest.
Next question.
The back end of Bad Batch season 2 is better than Rebel season 4.
Anybody else hear someone talking? Because I don't. But no, it was not. It was not.
Let me have my moment, Alex. Okay.
Andor was great. Oh, cannot wait. I keep seeing all the leaks about Andor filming locations.
Saw Gerrera? Got Saw Gerrera back.
And then I'm just saying, it feels so weird how good Star Wars is right now. I honestly say it. I say this. I'm saying this to my core right here, right now. We are living in the golden age of Star Wars right now.
Bulletin board. I mean, I don't disagree with you.
The High Republic, the games, the series, the film. We're not going to talk about that. But everything else, the animation,
books.
Sorry.
I was thinking about this the other day. I am not as high on you. What the fuck? I'm not as high.
What? Why aren't you high on me anymore?
No, I'm not as high on Star Wars as you are. That's what I meant to say. It's been a long day. Jesus. I'm not as high on Star Wars as you are. Mando season 3 has problems.
Sure.
The Bad Batch season 2 is good. Has problems for sure. Andor I love. Andor is just exquisite storytelling. Kenobi I don't like as much as you do. The Book of Boba Fett is the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, I think Star Wars still has quite a lot of problems, actually. I think Marvel's in a situation where actually they have more problems right now, but Star Wars is just
somehow
in a state of, I wouldn't say mediocrity, but just a state of not producing great to good. I think I was thinking about, I think it might even be my own thing. The Mandalorian season 2 is our generation's version of Empire Strikes Back. I'm not saying it's good as Empire Strikes Back, but it's like the best. It will be always, probably in my lifetime, the best Star Wars I will watch personally.
Oh yeah, coming out for us, yes, absolutely. I don't know. This Mando movie could outdo it.
I feel like we're chasing that high. But we're never gonna get that high.
Because I think though that high of Mando season 2. Kathleen Kennedy told Dave, she was like, Dave, Mando season 1 was really, really good. I want you to do that, but just do anything you want. Well, even if it doesn't make logical sense, just do it. And he did. He brought Ahsoka. He brought Bo-Katan, Luke Skywalker.
But it worked. It worked for the story too. That's the thing.
And that's what I'm saying, man. That's why I'm so excited for the Mandalorian movie with Dave Filoni writing and directing it.
Luke Skywalker.
We're gonna see the 3 main originals, bro.
Oh my god!
We're gonna see all 3 de-aged or recasted, whatever we got to do. We're gonna see them.
But I really hope I get close to that high. By the way, I don't smoke, but I really hope I get close to that high with Ahsoka.
Dude, I'm telling you, Ahsoka is literally just gearing up to be the best show. It just is. It has
the elements.
It literally has every single foundational piece. It is Dave Filoni's show. It is, dude.
This is a big test for Dave. I will say this is a big test for Dave.
If Ahsoka is not good, I have no faith in the movie anymore.
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
No faith in the movie anymore. Because listen, the episode The Jedi, one of the best Mandalorian episodes. But Dave Filoni also did make The Gunslinger.
Did he write anything for season 3? He didn't write anything for season 3, did he? No, he didn't.
No, I think he just produced.
Which makes sense because he was writing Ahsoka at the time.
He was writing Ahsoka and probably his movie.
Yeah. He was in pre-production on Ahsoka. He's probably already writing season 2
Yeah, probably.
or whatever I don't know what he's doing. Anyways, do we want to get into the other 2 topics?
Let's talk about, because we're on the conversation of the Mandoverse. Let's talk about Temura Morrison.
Oh God. Do I
What a
want to bring these up?
what
Or
a
no, we could just talk about them. We can
what a
just
fiasco.
yeah.
Man got played dirty. He got dealt such a bad hand. Disney didn't give him a hand at all.
Yeah, here I'm gonna bring this up. Dude, what are your thoughts on this, Alex? While I
Yeah.
bring these up.
So while he's pulling up, to give a gist, Tamora Morrison in an interview basically talked about how he was supposed to be in The Mandalorian season 3, and he wasn't, as I'm sure we all are well aware. And they just never called him back. We even actually visited the planet he was on. We just didn't see Boba for whatever reason. I don't know. And then he voiced some displeasure from the book of Boba Fett. He didn't like how Mando took front and center. But yeah, very, 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 very strange. Very weird for him to also come out and say this too. I would have thought he would have kept this private.
Yeah, I agree with that. Here can I not? Jeez, we're just gonna do this.
Technical difficulties.
Okay, he says I was supposed to be in The Mandalorian season 3, but nobody rang me. I was waiting for the phone call in New Zealand, and waiting and wanted to give up. Well, that Mandal guy stole a few chapters of my book. It was painful watching him turn up with some black new lethal sword. And the way he turned up in my book of Boba Fett, he just destroyed everybody. I'm sure this guy is running my show, but I couldn't say anything. I'm not the writer, so I have to bear it, I guess. I think there's a few changes going on. We also come under the big umbrella known as Disney now too. So it's one of many previous few conversations we had in LA. The dialogue began like, "Oh, look, we're having a few changes. We're having a few cutbacks." And while you hear that on different finish of the road, it's no good attempting to barter any more cash. That's for positive. So we'll see what occurs. If this is true, that like they don't have enough money to put Boba Fett, there's a problem. But I also think he's kind of joking here. But there is some truth to this.
Yeah, I think he's doing what honestly a lot of us tend to do. We tend to make fun of a bad situation. Right. I think his statement, honestly, in truth, is kind of a joking prospect, but hidden with a lot of truth. I don't think it's a thing that Disney can't afford Boba Fett. I'm sure Temura Morrison, honestly, with how nice of a guy he is, I'm sure he honestly just would have come back for free.
Oh yeah,
that's just me. He literally talks about how excited he is to be back, and so I don't think that's more of a problem. I just think it was a thing that, if we do look in the grand scope of Mando season 3, where do you bring Boba Fett in? It really is a Bo-Katan and Din Djarin centered season. And yeah, if I'm Temura Morrison, I'd be pissed off too if some random fucking chrome dome tinfoil hat looking guy came in and just stole 3 chapters of my 7-page or 7-chapter book. I'd be pissed off too. And so for me, yeah, if these things are real, I'm completely with Temura Morrison on this. The guy just got screwed, honestly.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Boba Fett Boba Fett walk so Din Djarin could run. There's no Din Djarin without Boba Fett. That's just true.
Straight up. Yeah.
That's just true. There was no Mandalorians without Boba Fett. That whole culture, that whole story does not exist at all without Boba Fett. Now I understand Boba Fett's not a Mandalorian, which is kind of funny. But that whole story does not exist without Boba Fett. Yeah. It just This is why I'm gonna go a little bit he's over exaggerating, I understand, but this is why this regime at Lucasfilm, I will give them credit when they do stuff great. I think this whole thing with the Mandoverse is fantastic. I think they should have modeled their stuff after Marvel, and I like how they're doing it on the television side. I like that. Having this own centric universe that's interconnected with Favreau and Filoni leading it. Fantastic. I like that. Bringing back these legendary characters like Boba Fett. And bringing in cartoon characters, animated characters into live actions worked really well so far.
Thrawn, Ahsoka, yeah.
But you can't get a movie out, and now we got a thing where a legendary character is obviously I know he's joking in this mostly, but there is some truth to him being sidelined in his own show. And now I blame John and Dave on that, honestly. I even said it.
Yeah, that's not a Kathy Kelly decision. Right. That is a pure John and Dave approve that. So,
and their justification for it was weird. I remember them talking about, they were just like, well, it is an interconnected universe and Mando's like the main character. It's like, then put it in The Mandalorian.
Yeah. I think though also, again, I was one of those people, I defended episode 5 of the Book of Boba Fett with my life. Because again,
I remember this.
It makes sense to have an interlude story to deal with somebody else because that's how we met Cobb Vanth. So in a book, he was a random interlude story, and that's how we met him. And The Mandalorian that he took pretty front and centered stage in his episode. And so I understood that. I didn't understand it in the second episode, or in the episode afterwards. And I didn't understand it in the finale either, though. I can justify one episode. I can get that because if you look at it, Kenobi was 6 episodes, and all 6 focused on him. And so it made sense. You have a random number of episodes in your show. It makes sense you want 6 episodes to be about the main character, and you can go off, reintroduce the franchise player.
And it was such a good reintroductory episode. Yes. It was just him on his own still. It was us establishing he's out of the covert now, and then we were just going to go off with him. I assume we were just going to go off with him, going to see Boba, and just go from there. But no, we had a whole nother episode, probably like the most consequential thing.
Literally like probably the most important episode next to the season 2 finale. And it's not about him. He literally, in one of probably the worst but funniest memes to come from this, Boba Fett in his own show had a background cameo in episode 6. Didn't say a word. He was a background character. And so that's what I'm saying when I say if these comments of Temura Morrison are exaggerated or they're the truth, where is it about? Why should he be wrong?
Yeah.
He shouldn't be. That's the answer.
He also is rightful to be upset about not being in Mando 3. Now, I think early on, maybe they wanted him in it, but story-wise, how did it make sense? I agree with you. This season was more focused on taking back Mandalore. Yeah, what story does he play in that?
But honestly, I could think of one. He goes to Tatooine and sees Boba, not Peli.
Yeah, we can just do a quick checkup on him. We don't need I don't need a whole episode.
I don't need a Return of Boba Fett episode. Like, I just need hey, how's Tatooine been? How's being the Daimyo been? That's it. I don't need a whole episode dedicated to Boba. I love it, but I don't need it.
And that can set up what's going on with Boba season 2 if we get that, right? That could be like a thing.
And we're kind of starting to see the big problem with big universes in an MCU style format.
Right.
Now there's so many things happening that, again, how are we gonna tie this all up? Because presumably Book of Boba Fett's not getting a season 2. Ahsoka's probably not getting a season 2. Skeleton Crew probably has the likelihood of getting a season 2 because we're dealing with kids, so you're probably going to want them to be aged up by the time the movie comes.
Right.
And so ultimately, the question is, we still have questions. What's going on with Cobb Vanth? Is Cad Bane dead? What's going on with Tatooine? Is Boba Fett still the Daimyo, or are the mods the Daimyos?
Who is the leading crime syndicate in the galaxy?
What's going on with the Pike Syndicate? What's going on with Crimson Dawn? What is happening right now?
Is Kira still alive at this point?
I don't know. As far as we know in the comics right now, she is alive, but that is pre-episode 6. So
didn't she just like fight Vader or something like that?
Yeah, like had a huge like something with had a big deal with Vader basically going on.
Nice.
But like again, kind of the problem that we're seeing is right now we're getting into a big circle of not enough so many questions being asked and not enough answers being given out.
Imagine how good of I don't mean to cut. Imagine how good of a story. Book of Boba season 2. We go galactic and we see Boba like become the crime lord of the galaxy, and we see Emilia Clarke back as Kira.
Yeah.
And it's just Crimson Dawn versus Boba Fett.
Or even then you do it instead of Crimson Dawn, because Crimson Dawn honestly kind of like they're kind of good guys now. I mean, it's kind of like asking like how do you make like a gang of good guys?
Wait, how are they good guys now? What do they do?
Well, they're fighting the Empire. So
oh, okay.
So again, it's like how do we make the Mafia good guys?
Okay.
That's okay. Like, they're still the Mafia. They're not great people.
Right.
But they're doing good things. They're not anti-heroes at the same time though. Like they're not good people doing sometimes bad. No, they're bad people. They're really
yes.
Yeah.
They're just fighting way worse people.
Yeah. And so honestly, I would love to see that in a Book of Boba Fett season 2, we see Crimson Dawn and the Boba Fett crime syndicates, they come together. You know what? Again, I hear about this big old Grand Admiral coming out with the 7th Fleet. How cool would it be to have the New Republic, Crimson Dawn, Boba Fett's crime syndicate, the Mandalorians, and the Skeleton Crew all fighting the 7th Fleet? That'd be dope.
Be a lot for Thrawn to handle.
But you got to think he's basically like the First Order right now. So,
but he's also by himself, and he doesn't have to deal with like Imperial bullshit that literally costs him every time.
And honestly, he probably has his species with him. Like he's probably working with them.
Right.
Why did I just forget their name?
The Chiss, right?
The Chiss, yeah. I kept wanting to call them the Grist, but I was like, no.
We are terrible. We don't know anything, by the way.
Yeah,
we are just.
Look, I know it, but I forget it. Okay. I know it, but I don't.
Plus Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Leia.
Yeah, Luke, Han, Leia, Chewie,
Lando,
R2, 3PO. Why not bring the whole gang with us?
Why not?
We could see Iden. We could see Del, Miko. We could see so many people.
Cal Kestis. Oh my god! That movie's gonna be so funny.
Cal Kestis
is gonna be so funny. The memes from that movie is just gonna be.
I'm telling you. The one thing I want from that movie is I want Din to see all these legacy characters, and he just whispers Bo-Katan, do you know who these people are? I'd love that, bro, because it'd be so
Bo-Katan and Luke, that meeting's going to be interesting, because Bo kind of knows Anakin, right? Yeah?
No. Well, they've kind of met in the season
They've
7.
seen each other.
They've seen each other, yeah. I think a more interesting thing, honestly, I would love to see Leia and Bo-Katan meet. That'd be cool.
Ahsoka and Leia,
yeah. Oh my god,
because Ahsoka and Padme are so close. That's gonna break.
Ahsoka and Padme, or Ahsoka, Leia, and Luke all sharing a scene together.
Oh my god,
talking about Anakin and Padme.
You're making me cry.
Just to think we could see the Force ghost of Obi-Wan.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. It is literally a fan orgasm right now.
That is the greatest scene of all time. Imagine Ahsoka, Leia, Luke, Anakin as a Force ghost, Obi-Wan. Fuck it, throw Qui-Gon. Just
Yoda.
Have him just have him there. Just be like.
So do we want to talk about the elephant in the room? I murdered a bunch of kids. That's what I love to see him to be. So, Dad, what was it like when you fell to the dark side? I killed a lot of fucking kids. I killed a room full of little kids.
Yeah.
I threw one of them out the window. It was crazy. and
Oh God.
that little bitch was still alive.
Oh
So
no.
then I threw him into 3 walls, and he was still kicking. So I cut each limb off,
Oh God.
fed it to him, and then stabbed him. That's the conversation I need to see. That would be a cool conversation or a cool scene to see is Anakin like come to grips with everything, like have flashbacks to everything.
Yeah, as a Force ghost.
Even in the Vader suit.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, bro, if this Mandoverse movie is not like fan service orgasm, I don't want it, bro. I'm telling you, I need Din to be the #1 comedian.
He's just gonna be like, he's gonna be like, what's he gonna say to Han? You remember how he says to Luke, "Are you a Jedi?" After he does all that, he's gotta say something stupid to Han. He's gonna be like, "Are you a bounty hunter?" And Han's just like, "Hey kid, I'm whatever you want me to be." Just there's something stupid.
Yeah. I just again, I need this movie to be like big fan orgasm because
Right.
it's just what Star Wars needs right now.
Right. I agree.
Honestly. Yeah. That all spiraled off of Temura Morrison talking about potential displeasure with the Mandalorian.
That was fine. That was fine. Do we want to talk about Survivor?
Let's do it. Let's talk Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Cal Kestis has that Vader effect, man.
He got that dog in him, bro.
He got the Vader effect, bro.
Well, wait. Let's give our impromptu spoiler warning. The game did come out literally yesterday. So
yeah.
Spoiler
By the way,
warning.
I also don't play video games. I didn't play it. I just kind of know what happens. So if I mess stuff up, I mess stuff up. I don't really know this side of. I don't know the video game side of the universe well. Alex, correct me if I'm wrong. You said 21 hours you played this game?
I stayed up for 21 hours playing the game straight. So
Alex is an expert in Jedi Survivor. So I overall, actually, I want to ask you, talk about just the gameplay overall, because I've seen some problems people have had with the gameplay. Can you talk about this?
So basically, the game is having some performance problems. It's not running very well. And if you look at the specs specifically for computer needed to run the game, that's like thousands of dollars worth of specs. And for the game to not work like at all, after paying like $90 for the game is not great.
Right.
So yeah. The game's having some problems specifically on the PC. It's having it on the Xbox and the PS5 as well, but not as bad as the computer. Computer at times is like just unplayable.
Now, I have heard, and this is one of the first, correct me if I'm wrong, this is exclusive to PS5. This is exclusive to the next gen consoles, right?
This is next gen and PC exclusive. No PS4 or Xbox One or anything like that.
Because I heard this game is like very, very like high tech. Yeah, it's massive, I heard.
Massive.
And it's probably overly ambitious. I think you would agree.
Not really.
Okay.
I just think that honestly, my brother was saying that he thinks they should have delayed the game again for stability, so to fix stability. I just think the game is so massive that they probably didn't anticipate a lot of the stability problems. But to be fair, again, the game was delayed to fix stability issues.
Okay.
So
have they been patching these things? Have they been working on it, I assume, right?
They've been talking about online that they're working on stuff right now. And it was one of those things that's honestly kind of expected. It's a massive game, 150 gigs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, did you play on computer or did you play on the?
I played on the PS5. I played.
And did it work all right for you? Did it work good?
It crashed once, but that was whatever. Fallen Order crashed like 4 times when I played it the first time around. Again, just the big problem is there's a lot of frame drop problems.
Okay.
The PS4 or 5 can run at 144 frames, and the frames will drop from 144 to like 40. So there's noticeable drops. The other big thing is clipping during cutscenes is really, really bad. Like if I'm trying to hold my mouse in my hand, it will literally look like I'm doing this. Like it will just straight up not be in the character's hand. So they got to fix that. But overall, again, I was telling my brother, it was nothing that like took away from the experience. It was obviously noticeable.
Right.
I found myself laughing at it more than being like, "Oh, I paid $90 for this shit,"
Right.
and rip off. Nothing like that. I just found it more humorous than annoying.
Right. So overall, what do you think of the story of this game? Do you think it's better than the first one? What are you thinking?
I think they're probably, in terms of quality, I think they're equal. I think the first game was about rediscovering who Cal was. The second game is about Cal fighting the inner darkness inside of him. Literally the final boss fight, Cal basically gets pinned down, and he gets presumably knocked out. But no, you get basically the prompt to embrace the darkness. Again, it's like I said, Cal's got that dog in him in this game.
Yes.
He honestly had one of the most like brutal scenes I think I've seen anybody do in Star Wars when he force pulls a Imperial ISB officer into a desk, and like the guy like goes face first into the desk. Like if this was real life, that man is dead from straight impact, because it's like face first into a metal desk. But hey, it's video game logic. It's okay. It also had one of my favorite boss fights with Darth Vader boss fight. That was just cool. It was cool to hear Vader actually sound like Darth Vader, not Darth Vader when he's sick. But yeah, I just like, I don't know. It was really cool to see the High Republic tie-ins. I bet for everybody who reads and consumes everything,
right?
I bet you're probably having a nerd orgasm over the game.
Correct.
I know my major broad strokes of the High Republic, and so I was even geeking out over that stuff. So the Nile got a nice little mention during there too. So
okay,
yeah, it was just, again, overall, I'd say in comparison to Fallen Order, I'd say they're about equal. I think Fallen Order did a lot of stuff better than Survivor, and I think Survivor did a lot of stuff better than Fallen Order. But I was having this conversation with somebody on Discord that Survivor doing something better than Fallen Order is not impressive, like Fallen Order doing something better than Survivor, because the sequel should be better than the original.
Right. To me, Cal Kestis is such an interesting character, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a character a lot of people talk about going into live action.
Please.
And I really think it's a real possibility.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it, I was looking at, his first game had like over 20 million users I saw. And I was looking at this, and this game's been doing pretty well, I've seen, with downloads and purchases I was seeing. So it makes logical sense. A lot of people in the fandom know him. And I think his character, from what I've seen through the story and just listening to people talk, has become much more dynamic. It's not just a Padawan now trying to find himself, trying to find his way. He's balancing between that inner darkness and the Jedi way. And what's really interesting is that they've gone really full boat. They didn't even do this with Ahsoka. He's really not a Jedi. He is just a Force user, I would make the point at this.
Yeah. He straight up in the game denounces the Jedi way because he wants to pursue a relationship with Marin.
Right.
And so he basically is just a very more broody Ahsoka Tano.
Right. Yeah,
So,
I was thinking also too, like even Luke in the EU with like his relationship with Mara Jade, that sort of thing. Cal is powerful himself. He's not very extremely powerful. I'm gonna make the argument he's more powerful than somebody like Kanan.
Oh yeah.
Right? And he's kind of cold now. When he kills the Ninth Sister, he's like straight up, it's just like, it's time to set you free.
And Cal in this game, the kills that he does to people, they are brutal in this game. Again, he decapitates the Ninth Sister. He shoots in the end boss fight. He shoots he thought his friend. Straight up, like, shoots him twice. Like shoots him once, and he looks like he's dead, and then he shoots him again to confirm that he's dead. He's just really brutal in the game. And in my opinion, a lot of it did catch me off guard. Like a lot of it was like, whoa.
But it makes sense.
It does, because the story of Cal in the first game was, he's afraid to be a Jedi. He's afraid of who he is.
Right.
And in this game, he's afraid of losing himself.
Right.
Because he's so persistent about wanting to make a change. In the first mission of the game, you're going to recover intel for Saw Gerrera about like the Imperial control of the galaxy. And Cal finally gets to see like how much has he done. And then he realizes, wow, we haven't even made like a small scratch.
Right.
He basically then just gets put forward that, wow, everything he's basically doing is useless. Because they're just growing. They're outgrowing any damage he does.
Right.
And so now he's just afraid that he's going to lose who he is. And that's his big thread. Honestly, I was doing the math while you were talking. Cal, during the time of the Mandoverse, he would only be in his early 40s. Now, Cameron Monaghan is only 29.
You can make him older.
Put a beard on him. Put some artificial wrinkles on him. Give me Cal. Give me Cal Kestis.
But I don't need to see him as a Jedi or anything. I need to see him as just like a Force wielder out there. Let's talk about the Vader end fight, because this dude is just he's him. It
wasn't even the end fight. There was still like another 2 or 3 hours of gameplay after this fight.
Oh, really? I thought it was the end of the game. No?
No. There's like 3 other boss fights after him.
Ah, okay. That's it for him though, right? That's the only thing.
Oh yeah. It's also crazy because
was this on Coruscant? Was this in the library?
No, this was in Jeddah. This was on Jeddah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So me and you were talking about it beforehand. This series or this game is taking place either like days before, during, or days after Kenobi. So to think that Vader has this fight with Seer, the only damage that he takes in the fight is that his cape gets burned in half. But I was telling you, this man Vader just can't catch a break. He just can't. Like, if we go over all the things that have happened to him.
No, I don't even mean to cut you off. Did Sarah go after Vader? Or how did this happen? Or was Vader going after?
Vader came to approach her. But then Seer, led the fight. But just think, how did Vader get into the suit? He was burned. What happens in this game? The bitch gets caught in a fire.
Right.
He gets his we see Vader visibly get thrown around by somebody. Where does this happen? In the Kenobi series. This man Vader gets shit thrown at him. Where did that happen last? Oh yeah, the Kenobi series.
He literally gets his box destroyed, bro.
I'm literally telling you, in the span of 3 weeks, this man Vader literally has almost 2 near-death experiences with Seer and Obi-Wan.
Bro caught on fire, bro. Bro had but he's him.
But he can't catch a break, bro. This guy, he just can't catch a break. Because also, then what happens in the fight with Seer? Oh, something gets thrown on, or something heavy gets thrown on top of them. Star Wars Rebels Season 2 premiere, anybody? I'm telling you, that Vader, he's just got that dog in him.
And then, she thought she was gonna stab him. That's
crazy, because she barely misses him. It stabs under his armpit, and so he just kind of lifts his arm up. He's like, "Oh, sorry, you kind of missed."
And then he just walks away.
Yeah, he's just like, bye. I'm out of here. It's too much fire for me. I'm getting some PTSD
Do you
from
think?
something that
Do
happened
you
10
think
years
she
ago.
just like? Do you think he just like used the Force to move her lightsaber? Or do you think he literally just like took a
Oh,
step?
oh yeah, I think he literally just was in the right position, right place at
Really?
the right time.
No,
But
I
yeah,
think he's just. I think he's just him. He's just
he's got
Anakin.
he's
So it's
got that dog in
he
him.
just like was like, yeah, you are not stabbing me. You are gonna die. I'm done
Mhm.
playing with my food.
I remember literally, dude, getting so shocked when it happened too.
Did you think like she actually like?
No, 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 no. I knew something was up. I was like, oh no. It's like, oh my god, did they stab each other? And then to see him basically just like move his arm out of the way from her stab was like, oh, no. And I thought he was gonna decapitate her too.
Just afterwards, just like compose it out and then just like.
Make sure.
I
Because
mean, he's
also,
got to at this point because he can't kill Riva.
yeah, literally at this point, like, because what happened is her Jedi Master, like, was killed like right before this too. So you literally, her Jedi Master dies, and then she dies, and then you're betrayed at the same time. So you're literally just getting fucking punched, and then you're just getting punched again, and then you're on the floor because you just got punched in the rib, and then Vader comes and just kicks you while you're down, and just walks
Well,
away from
literally,
you.
well, stabs you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boba Fett is in this game too.
I have not encountered him yet, but I know how to encounter him. I don't know how big of a role he plays. I got to be honest with you.
It's
I don't
like
know.
one scene.
I've seen only one scene with him. I don't know what he says. I just like I saw a like quick 2-second snippet of him flying down.
He says, "See you around, Jedi." That's the only line I can remember him saying.
Is he voiced by Temura Morrison
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
or AI?
It might be AI because it sounds like a mix of OG. It might actually be OG
Oh,
because I feel like that would make more sense.
so think what he's like what 10 in Attack of the Clones, 13 in the Clone Wars.
He's only like 20.
23, 23, 24, 25 at the max.
Yeah, it's 23, but he's like the best.
He's in his prime right now, so
He's the best bounty hunter in the galaxy. At 23 is impressive.
mm-hmm. Oh yeah. But yeah, overall, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is good. It is I'd say on par or slightly better than the first game. Which the first game was like phenomenal. I think the first I already was going on and saying Fallen Order was the best Star Wars game of all time. So I think Survivor is definitely better than it, but with the frame rate problems that it's having right now, maybe give it a wait.
Second best game EA has done.
No, the first. Fallen Order is probably the second. Battlefront 2 is probably right behind that, and then yeah.
The other ones happened.
Then the other ones. So yeah.
They kind of fumbled the bag with their contract there. They had that on and they didn't do enough, I don't feel like.
Yeah, it was also a thing that EA was putting a lot of pressure on them and not giving them enough money to do anything. So
Okay.
it's just kind of like you're giving $10,000 to build a house in 10 minutes.
Right.
So you got to go to the store. You got to get all the.
You have a lot of money, but it's not. You can't. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like what are you gonna do with like a year of dev time? That's not enough.
Right. Yeah.
So, but again, I think they made it work. They just need to fix the game, fix the bug, or fix the frame rate issues. But once they fix that, the game will be flawless.
Awesome.
Again, I think it is also the highest rated.
Really?
Yep, that and Fallen Order are tied for being the highest rated Star Wars games.
Wow, that's awesome.
9 out of 10 for Fallen Order, and Survivor got a 9.5, and most places gave it a 10.
That is awesome. Wow.
Because it got that dog in it.
That is interesting. I'm just realizing now. I was just looking at our channel. I never uploaded the Marvels trailer thing. Wow. That's funny. I'll do that tonight. I'll do that tonight. That's terrible. All right. Are you good?
Yeah. I think I've
okay.
taught my mouth off enough.
that is going to do it for episode number 94 of Wars in the Stars. I think we just passed our 2-year anniversary.
Yeah.
I don't
Beginning
remember.
of the year.
I think
You and
last year.
say you and Stormy we celebrated.
Yes, I think not last week, but maybe the week before, and I don't think I acknowledged it. But yeah, 2 years we've been doing this. Hopefully, we do it a lot longer. I'm thinking we probably will. We will be
six episodes away from 100.
6 episodes away from 100. We'll be back next week for a movie review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But we had a great show discussing.
I think it looked real crooked when I did that.
Discussing Volume 3. We discussed a little bit about Temura Morrison's comments, the Mandoverse. We had some tangents about Star Wars that were really good. And then we also, at the end, discussed Jedi Survivor and what we thought of the game, mostly what Alex thought because I didn't play the game. But overall, great show. We'll be back next week, probably Saturday, maybe. We'll see. Who knows?
Friday or Saturday.
As always, may the Force be with you, and may you stay burdened with glorious purpose. See you all next week. Okay.